Alright everyone, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. Today is Friday, October 23rd, 2020, and Game 3 of the World Series. When we last left off, the Rays won Game 2, evening the series at one game apiece against the National League Dodgers. Here in this one, Los Angeles will start Walker Buehler while Charlie Morton gets the start for the home Tampa Bay Rays. It's a pitching duel this evening, as both teams look to take a series lead with a Game 3 win. This one will begin momentarily, but first, let's take a look at Charlie Morton's numbers. Now, he has been so incredibly dominant on the mound with the Rays in the postseason. We look at him this year in October baseball, 3 games started, a 3-0 win-loss record with a .57 ERA. That's in 15 2/3 innings pitched, with 17 strikeouts and a .96 WHIP. His career postseason numbers are just as good. 12 games pitched, a 7-2 win-loss record with a 2.84 ERA in 57 innings, striking out 61 batters, and posting a career 1.16 WHIP in postseason baseball. Now, he's going to be facing off against Walker Buehler of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and this one is going to be a very fun matchup. It's been back and forth, and some may say that the Dodgers opened up the door for Tampa Bay to go ahead and win Game 2. Now, they did start Tony Gonsolin, who did not get very far into the game, and using almost an opener strategy as compared to maybe starting Walker Buehler in the previous matchup, did allow the Rays to get to Los Angeles' arms very quickly and very early on. Brandon Lowe had a great day at the plate in Game 2 with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. Joey Wendell also had a small handful of runs batted in for the Rays, which led them to a Game 2 win. That evened up the series, and now it's going to be Morton versus Buehler, one of the better pitching matchups that we're going to see here in this postseason and in the World Series. Charlie Morton has won his last 7 postseason starts, and the first pitch to Mookie Betts we put in play down the third base line, but foul. That will be strike 1, and this game is underway. Mookie Betts, Corey Seager, and Justin Turner will all see plate appearances here in the away half of the first inning. Out at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, the designated location here for the 2020 World Series. As a result of the baseball bubble, Morton is 36 years old, a right-handed starter standing at 6'5" tall. And the second pitch of the at-bat to Betts is going to miss down and away, ball 1. So if we really want to look at keys for success in Los Angeles' case this evening, Mookie Betts plays a huge role in this lineup. In which games Dodgers have won, Mookie Betts is hitting over 300 this postseason. Now, when the Dodgers do lose here in October baseball in the 2020 season, Mookie Betts is hitting lower than a 100 batting average. It's going to be crucial for him to get on base and score runs early on for Los Angeles, as the home plate umpire gives a generous strike 2 to Charlie Morton. Now, we mentioned that Mookie Betts has had great postseason success with the Dodgers when they do win ball games, and here in this game, or here in this postseason, he is hitting .308 in 52 at-bats as he grounds this one over to Willy Adames, who will make a great play. Ji-Man Choi with an incredible stretch to go ahead and retire the first out. So Mookie Betts grounds out after falling behind in the count 1-2 to Charlie Morton, who in 2020 pitched in 9 games, winning 2 and losing 2, posting a 4.74 ERA in 38 innings, a 1.39 WHIP, and striking out 42 batters. The first pitch from Morton to Corey Seager is a fastball up in the zone. Seager swings strike 1. Now, Corey Seager has also played a big role in this Dodgers lineup, as he's hitting .302, and he's been the head of the production at the plate for this National League team. 7 home runs, 16 RBIs and 2 stolen bases in October baseball as he sees strike 2. He's 2 for 6 in the World Series with 1 home run. And lefties are going to play a big factor into how good the Dodgers do tonight against the right-handed Charlie Morton, who is very dominant and very nasty on the mound. The count goes 1-2 to the Dodgers shortstop. And a breaking ball will miss way too close inside. Ball 2. Hello to everyone in the chat and in the stream. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. Game 3 of the World Series is just underway. Dodgers or Rays, for me, who I want to win is I want the Dodgers to win the series, but it's going to be very close, and I'm hoping for a 7-game set here between the Rays and Dodgers. I think that'll make this a lot of fun, and really push postseason baseball to the end of October. And then, Dodgers Rays, it's definitely going to be a great matchup here. Both deserve to win, and Corey Seager is going to fly out to left field for the second out. Justin Turner will see a fastball letter high for ball 1. Morton has pitched 11 so far. And I cannot show the game because of copyright. Do apologize for that, but I am doing live play-by-play coverage, as you guys can currently tell. So Morton in a 1-1 count to Justin Turner. And this one will be off speed, up and in. Justin Turner does not agree with the call, but Morton will jump ahead here 1-2. Yeah, copyright reasons. If I could show the game, I would be able to, but because of copyright, I do not own the rights to Fox, to Major League Baseball, to the Dodgers, to the Rays. But Justin Turner, a deep fly ball out to left field. Randy Rose right at the wall. It's out of here. A solo home run for JT. The Dodgers third baseman batting third tonight puts LA up with a solo home run and 2 outs. The Dodgers strike first. Let's go ahead and change the scoreboard here on stream. And there we go. LA is the first to put a run on the board, courtesy of a Justin Turner solo shot here out to straightaway left field. That brings up the left-handed bat of Max Muncy, who is starting at first base tonight for LA. And Turner gets the game scoring going early. He will take a pitch up and in for ball 1. Now that, I believe, is only the 3rd run allowed from Charlie Morton's behalf in a postseason game with the Rays, as he gets a breaking ball over the outer edge to the plate for strike 1. I do want to have some side-by-side comparisons here between Walker Buehler and Charlie Morton, because this is indeed a pitching duel, as Muncy falls behind 1-2. Charlie Morton, in his postseason career, has pitched in 57 innings. Buehler, 55 1/3. Walker has a 2.44 ERA. Charlie Morton, 2.84. Granted, that just went up a little bit high with a solo home run. The Rays starter has a 61-21 strikeout per walk ratio. Walker Buehler, 73 strikeouts to 21 walks in his postseason career. And finally, the Dodgers starter here in Game 3 has a 182 opponent batting average against. Charlie Morton, 214. These two men are very capable of getting the job done and winning a Game 3 here. It's going to be a great matchup. These two teams will most definitely be utilizing Buehler and Morton later on down the line in the series. Max Muncy hits this one right back up the middle, and it's going to deflect off of Charlie Morton's body. And it'll get to the left side of the infield where there is no one there to cover. So Max Muncy is aboard now with a base hit. And it's back-to-back hits for the Dodgers on 2 outs. In steps Will Smith, the designated hitter tonight for the Dodgers, and he's done well in the World Series. 2 for 9 with a home run, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs, but he's been crucial to the middle to lower end of this Dodgers lineup here in the postseason. He's hitting .222 overall in October with 54 at-bats, but 2 home runs and 13 RBIs, accompanying those numbers with a .665 on-base plus slugging. Now, he is currently second on the Dodgers starting lineup for tonight in RBI totals. He has 13 ribbies in this postseason. Max Muncy has 10, so right behind him. But Cody Bellinger is very close as well with 12. Now, the sole leader here is Corey Seager, the shortstop. 7 home runs, 16 RBIs. He leads both categories this October for the National League representatives here in the World Series, as Will Smith swings and misses at strike 3 to end the inning. So 1 run on 2 hits and 1 man left on base for the Dodgers, but we have a score here going to the bottom of the first. The Dodgers have an early lead. Walker Buehler gets the start tonight for the away Los Angeles Dodgers, and he's going to face off against the Tampa Bay Rays lineup, my goodness, that consists of the following. Leading off, the left-handed designated hitter, Austin Meadows, following up by Brandon Lowe, who had a huge Game 2 at the plate with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. Randy Arozarena starting in left field will bat third, and slotted in the cleanup spot is the left-handed first baseman, Ji-Man Choi. Manny Margot will follow him up, batting right-handed in right field. Joey Wendell starts at the hot corner, batting 6th. Willie Adames slotted 7th, starting at shortstop. Kevin Kiermaier out in center field, batting 8th. And Mike Zunino behind the plate, batting 9th. That's the Tampa Bay Rays lineup from 1 to 9. And again, they will face off against the Los Angeles Dodgers ace, Walker Buehler. Buehler 4 games here in the 2020 postseason. A 1-0 win-loss record with an ERA sub-2 at 1.89. That's in 19 innings. He strikes out 29 batters and has posted so far a 1.37 whip here in extra baseball in the fall frenzy. Now, in his career postseason numbers, we touched on this a little bit just moments ago, but 10 games pitched for Walker Buehler, winning 2, losing 1, and a 2.44 ERA. He has 73 strikeouts throughout a 55 and a third inning span with a 1.03 whip. Now, he did well in the regular season, only won 1 game out of 8, but a 3.44 ERA, 36 and 2/3 innings pitched, 42 strikeouts, and a .95 whip. He did not lose a game. And again, as we mentioned, he will face off against Austin Meadows, Brandon Lowe, and Randy Arozarena. So Justin Turner, the man of the hour at the moment for the Dodgers, a solo home run in the top of the first, got the scoring going early on. And the Dodgers went on to get 1 more hit with 2 outs, but stranded the runner at first. So go to the bottom of the opening frame here. The Rays will have Austin Meadows, Brandon Lowe, and Randy Arozarena all come up to face off against the 26-year-old Walker Buehler, who stands 6'2" and 185 pounds. The first pitch is a fastball up and away, ball 1. Meadows is batting .200 as he is 1 for 5 in the World Series, and he has scored a run. Leading off this game for the Rays offensively, and he's going to foul this one back. The count will go even 1-1. Of course, the head of the snake here for the Tampa Bay Rays is manager Kevin Cash, who is currently managing his 6th season with the AL East team. Austin Meadows is going to go ahead and ground out to first base where Max Muncy will take it himself. It's a 3 unassisted, and there is 1 out here in the home half of the first. Let's take you through the Dodgers' defense this evening. Again, Friday, October 23rd, Game 3 of the 2020 World Series. From left to right in the outfield, Joc Pederson, Cody Bellinger, and Mookie Betts. Max Muncy over at first. Justin Turner at the hot corner as the other corner infielder. Corey Seager and Chris Taylor are the middle infielders, and the battery is Walker Buehler and Austin Barnes, with Will Smith the designated hitter. Brandon Lowe steps in. He's 2 for 9 in the World Series with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Both of those hits and all 3 ribbies came in Game 2, where the Rays edged out the Dodgers by a final score of 6-3, and it would not have been possible without Brandon Lowe, who we now see in the box. He jumps ahead 2-0 in the count against Walker Buehler. And the 2-0 payoff pitch is going to be a fastball at the knees, but deemed a strike by the home plate umpire. Brandon Lowe looks back, not thrilled with the call. We've seen that early on. Mookie Betts and Corey Seager both had strike calls on pitches relatively close. And strike 2 on a fastball, inner third of the plate. The count is even. Brandon Lowe up in the box now, and Randy Arozarena in the on-deck circle. The 2-2 payoff pitch. Got him. Strike 3, looking not happy as Brandon Lowe as he goes down. Retired on a 5-pitch at-bat. He takes strike 3, a breaking ball outside that, again, the home plate umpire gives the pitcher the benefit of the doubt for. Good take from Brandon Lowe. He does not put up a defensive swing because he does not think he has to. But as a result, he will go down with the bat on his shoulders. And now in steps Randy Arozarena, who has been a huge narrative for the Tampa Bay Rays this October. He's 1 for 6 in the World Series with 3 walks as he swings and misses for strike 2. However, in all of October, he's hitting .361 through 61 at-bats with 7 homers, 10 RBIs, and a 1.222 on-base plus slugging. Arozarena will strike out on 3 pitches as he fouls it back into the glove of Austin Barnes. Walker Buehler works a 1-2-3 inning, striking out 2 Tampa Bay Ray batters. No hits, no runs, no men left on base, and we go to the top of the second. So we flip back over to the Dodgers in the lineup card. It's going to be Bellinger, Taylor, and Pederson, who will all find themselves with plate appearances here. In the top of the second, LA already has a 1-run lead over the Rays here in Game 3. And again, that was via a Justin Turner solo home run back in the first inning with 2 outs. So Bellinger, Taylor, and Pederson. The full lineup is as so for the Dodgers tonight, as we have not brought this up quite yet. Mookie Betts leading it off in right field, followed by Corey Seager, the left-handed shortstop, who's done some great things here this October. Justin Turner got this one off to a quick start, batting third over at third base, and the left-handed Max Muncy starts at first and is hitting cleanup. Will Smith is the designated hitter tonight, batting fifth. Cody Bellinger slotted sixth, starting in center field, with Chris Taylor in the 7-hole at second. Joc Pederson, the left-handed left fielder, will bat 8th, and Austin Barnes will be behind the plate, catching balls and strikes, and batting 9th. So Morton will face off against the left-handed Cody Bellinger to get the top of the second underway. And these lefties really have to attack Morton, either have long at-bats or just sneak through singles. You don't necessarily need the long ball, so that is something the Dodgers thrive off of in this lineup, as you've already seen here in this one. But the home runs have been a key to success for both teams throughout the first 2 games of the set. The Rays had a handful in Game 2, and the Dodgers have definitely had their fair share through Games 1 and 2, as LA was the home team in the World Series. Because of the expanded postseason bracket, we did see some changes to the Fall Frenzy and how games were to be played, where they were to be played as well. And one notable difference is, of course, the bubble, in which now instead of LA or Tampa Bay playing in one of those two respective stadiums, we're at a neutral site, home of the Texas Rangers in their inaugural season of Globe Life Field. Of course, Globe Life Park was where the Rangers would play their home games for quite some time leading up into this year, and Cody Bellinger will fly the first pitch of his at-bat out to left field for out number 1. But to further that point here, the schedule has also looked a bit different leading up to the World Series. At least there was not a single off day in between series. So the Division Series and the Championship Series, for example, would be played straight through, whether it was a best of 5 or best of 7. Each and every game would be played until there was a winner of the set that went ahead and moved on. Now with the World Series, no changes here, of course, because a lot more on the line. But we do go back to this 2-3-2 schedule in which the Dodgers, or the better team of the two facing off in the World Series, would be home for the first 2 games of the set. And then, in this case, the Rays would be the home team for games 3, 4, and 5. And then if 6 and 7 are necessary, LA will have home field advantage, or home field advantage yet again. The 1-0 to Chris Taylor is a changeup down and away for called strike 1, and the count is even with 1 out. Taylor is hitting .258 through 42 at-bats, with 1 home run, 3 RBIs, and a .700 OPS. This one runs inside, fastball clocking in at 95 miles per hour, and Taylor jumps ahead. With Taylor in the box now, Joc Pederson is in the on-deck circle. The right-handed second baseman will foul this one down the first base line and out of play. Now we do see fans out here in Texas for the World Series, which is fun because, of course, for the majority of the 2020 regular season and postseason, being able to attend a Major League Baseball game was not possible. Now, Chris Taylor checks his swing, but it's going to get by Mike Zunino. Drop third strike does not come into account as the throw gets down to first in time. Taylor goes down swinging. So Joc Pederson comes up and looks to see if he can further this storyline that we already have going on here in Game 3 of the Dodgers getting hits with 2 outs. We saw the home run from Turner and the single from Max Muncy, both with 2 men retired in the first. We'll see if they can spark some magic here with the left-handed left fielder stepping in and 2 away. Pederson sports number 31 on his jersey, which is the away gray unis tonight, and he's hitting .333 this postseason. 9 for 27 with 1 home run and 5 runs batted in. He takes called strike 1. Morton attacks right in the zone. A fastball 94 up and in. Grounded over to the second baseman, Brandon Lowe. And that will do it for the inning. A 4-3 ground out ends it there. No hits, no runs, no men left on base. Charlie Morton works a 1-2-3 inning, and we go to the bottom half of inning number 2. This game has been fairly quick up until this point. We've only seen 2 hits, and it's been about a 22-minute game, give or take. As we go to the bottom of the second, Ji-Man Choi, Manny Margot, and Joey Wendle look to get it started for the Tampa Bay Rays, who again have the home field advantage here. They are the home team for games 3, 4, and 5. We know that at least a game 5 will be necessary as the series is currently tied at 1 game apiece. First team to 4 wins will be deemed the World Series champion, as it is a best-of-7 set. Game 4 is tomorrow, Saturday, October 24th. And we'll get you the rest of the schedule right now as well. So, of course, we are currently going through Game 3, in which the Dodgers have a 1-run lead. Game 4 is tomorrow, Saturday, October 24th, an 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time start. And Game 5 is Sunday, October 25th. Now, again, we know we are at least going to a Game 5. If that 6th game is necessary, it will be Tuesday, October 27th. And if we do get to a Game 7, like my prediction says, Wednesday, October 28th will be the last day of postseason baseball, the last game of the 2020 season. Again, Wednesday, October 28th would be the set Game 7 date if we get that far. Now, my prediction that I've had since roughly the start of the postseason is Dodgers in 7. And I had actually initially said that I liked Corey Seager for the series most valuable player. Now, he did win that NLCS MVP title, as well as Randy Arozarena out in the American League for the Tampa Bay Rays. And we're going to head to the bottom of the second. Walker Buehler had a 1-2-3 inning through very limited pitches, striking out both Brandon Lau and the rookie Randy Arozarena. Austin Meadows grounded out to get it going, and Tampa has not had much success early on here through their first 3 batters of the game. One run on 2 hits, no errors for the Dodgers offense, and the Rays looking to scrap together their first hit here. We go to the bottom of the second. First pitch from Walker Buehler is a fastball belt high. Choi sees it for strike 1. Fastball coming in at 96 miles per hour there for Walker. And G-Man steps in 1 for 3 in the World Series with 2 runs. Batting cleanup and is hitting .294 in the postseason. He fouls this one back and falls behind 0-2 in the bottom of the second with no outs. Again, Walker Buehler this postseason is 1-0 in 4 games with a sub-2 ERA. There is a defensive shift, which has second baseman Chris Taylor out in the right field grass. Justin Turner, the only man on the left side of the diamond infield-wise, as Seager shifts over to behind the second base bag. This one will miss up in the zone for ball 1. The 26-year-old right-handed starter will throw an off-speed pitch inside that Choi manages to make contact with, but again, in foul play, the count remains 1-2. Looking to retire his 4th man in a row is 26-year-old Buehler. On the 1-2 count, he's going to resort to the fastball down and away, perfectly placed, called strike 3, got G-Man Choi looking for his 3rd strikeout in a row. 4 up, 4 down so far for Walker Buehler. The Tampa Bay Rays' top 3rd of the lineup has shown very little resistance. Rather, has shown great deal here as Walker Buehler notches his 3rd punch out of the game. He'll blow a 98-mile-per-hour fastball past Manny Margot, who steps in. Now he is starting out in right field tonight for the Rays defensively. And batting .283 this October with 5 home runs, 11 RBIs, 1 stolen base, and a .962 OPS. This one will be good for strike 2 as Buehler yet again reaches 98 on the heater. Manny is 3 for 7 in the World Series with a stolen base and 2 runs. Down in the count 0-2. He'll sit down strike 3 as Buehler touches 99 and flirts with triple digits on the fastball. So strikeout looking to Lau, strikeout swinging to Arozarena. That ended the first. Strikeout looking to Choi, strikeout swinging to Margot. That started the second. Walker Buehler is dealing right now. He seems to be getting better and better as we get further into this postseason here. The more these games mean, the better his performance. As he will now face the left-handed Joey Wendle. He will foul back a fastball at 98 for strike 1. And the right-handed starting pitcher has only thrown 20 pitches, retiring 5 to this point. He's ahead 0-1 here to the Rays' third baseman. And the payoff pitch at the letters, but Wendle offers at it and will foul it straight back for strike 2. If Wendle does get aboard, Willy Adames will step in for his first plate appearance of the game. Joey hitting .234 in this postseason. Walker will throw a fastball up there again and challenge him. Wendle almost gets a nice chunk of that baseball, but sends it out to left field, in which Joc Pederson camps under it for out number 3. It's a fly out to lefty in the inning. No hits, no runs, no men left on base for the Rays. We go to the top of the third. And the score remains 1-0. Buehler has been so incredibly good so far. He's showing he's got great stuff in the tank. And the Rays have not seen much of the Dodgers' solid arms in the bullpen. Blake Treinen hasn't pitched, or didn't pitch in Game 2, rather. I believe Baez is still available for tonight with yesterday's off day not being used in Game 2. LA's bullpen is definitely geared up and ready to go if necessary, but the way Walker Buehler is rolling at this rate, it seems like he could go a strong 6 innings. Wild Food, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Great job calling the game so far. I appreciate it, and thank you for coming out here and joining the live stream. Game 3 of the 2020 World Series. Also a big thank you to everyone who has tuned in and is currently tuning in. As again, we do a play-by-play of the third matchup between the Tampa Bay Rays and Los Angeles Dodgers. Someone will come out of this game with a series lead at 2-1. And at the moment, it's in the Dodgers' favor, but we still have a lot of baseball left. It's 1-0 LA as we go to the top of the third, where Austin Barnes will lead it off, and then we flip the lineup card over for our second time through. Mookie Betts and Corey Seager will also get at-bats here in the away half of third. Now, we mentioned close to the beginning of this ballgame, Mookie Betts does extremely well in Dodgers wins this postseason, where he's hitting higher than 300 when the Dodgers outscore their opponents. But when LA loses, Mookie Betts not doing so well, hitting .071, as they were mentioning it in the pregame show. If Mookie does well, the Dodgers will have success, it seems to be. Now, Betts is currently 0 for 1 in the game with the ground out to short. Doesn't mean, though, that LA will not find success in their other 9 batters, because, of course, that is obviously going to be the case from top to bottom. One of the better lineups this postseason, at least in the National League. Tonight for the Dodgers, it's Mookie Betts, Corey Seager, Justin Turner, Max Muncy, Will Smith, Cody Bellinger, Chris Taylor, Joc Pederson, and Austin Barnes. Now, Barnes has been a key role for the Dodgers lineup, as offensively he was hitting .353 coming into this game in 17 at-bats with 1 RBI and a 7.42 OPS, so still looking for his first home run, but he's the guy who can hit in that 9 slot and get on base for Mookie Betts, for Corey Seager, who combined have 22 RBIs this October. Mookie Betts with 6, Corey Seager with a team-leading 16, and the count goes 1-1 to the Dodgers backstop. In Game 2, Blake Snell was so good for the Rays, striking out 9 batters and racking up the win, as Barnes is said to not hold up in time. He'll check his swing but go around for strike 2. One, two, and called strike 3. Got him. Barnes knew it right away. Rung him up looking. And that's the 3rd strikeout for Charlie Morton. Now, Morton's not even necessarily a huge strikeout pitcher. This season, he had 42 strikeouts in 38 innings, which averages just a bit more than 1 strikeout per inning of work. And then postseason-wise, 17 strikeouts in 15 2/3 innings. So, of course, that ratio gets even closer to 1-to-1. And 61 strikeouts in 57 career postseason innings. He's not going to strike out necessarily 10 guys a game, but he will record outs with a very minimal ERA. Coming into this game, .057 earned run average. Now, of course, he gave up a solo home run back in the first. That ERA is going to be a little higher now, but near flawless in the postseason, especially with Tampa Bay. Now, the last time Morton faced the Dodgers, he was on the winning end of things with the Houston Astros, of course, in that 2017 World Series, in which Houston did win Game 7. Morton, through the last 4 innings of work, I believe, only allowing 1 run, sealing LA's fate, and sending them home second best. Betts balls behind 1-2, but off speed down and away, misses way outside. The count goes even. Morton has some familiarity with Mookie Betts, as he's faced him 23 times going into tonight. That's more than any other batter starting in the lineup for LA. And of course, that does root back to the fact that, well, Mookie Betts was an AL East hitter for quite some time, in which Charlie Morton, on the Rays in regular season play, would face the Boston Red Sox. Now, Mookie Betts is also going to go down swinging here for strikeout number 4. And that's just a really nice breaking ball. Starts up belt high, finishes just above the knees, and Betts swings right over it for strike 3. That'll bring up Corey Seager, who flew out to left his first time around. Checks his swing on a ball that's going to be way inside and holds up 1-0. Now again, the Dodgers don't necessarily need to be swinging for the fences right here. Right? Seager is 2 for 7 in the World Series with 1 home run and 1 RBI, but just piece by piece, hit by hit, they can get aboard. And, there's that big adage, a bloop and a blast in Major League Baseball. It's a cliche, you get a single or some sort of knock, and then a home run puts you up, or at least plates you some runs. And that's all that the Dodgers really need, or even the Rays. Just, you need to play this game going in looking for hits, not necessarily a home run to help the numbers and to add immediate RBIs. Now, Corey Seager's going to get hit by a pitch here with 2 away. It looks like to make contact with his front foot, so he is on first with 2 outs. And now here's Justin Turner, who is very hot, as mentioned in the chat, based on 1 at-bat, but 3 for 9 in the World Series. So this is his 2nd home run of the postseason, his first of the Fall Classic, and he will see strike 1. So you have a runner on now. Justin Turner's already gone yard once tonight. Of course, wants to go ahead and help increase this Dodgers lead. But all you need are subtle base hits. The Dodgers have played small ball. We've seen that. Mookie Betts stealing bases. He's got 4 tally this postseason. Corey Seager with 2. Cody Bellinger has a swiped base. I mean, that's not necessarily something you see all the time with some of these franchises. You know, just for example, one team that does not really run, well, quite frankly, just because they don't necessarily have the guys to be taking off, but it's the New York Yankees. They don't really attempt to steal bases, and, you know, if you put yourself on first, and Corey Seager per se, for example here, steals a base. That's a runner in scoring position. A single, instead of maybe moving him only up 2 bases to third base, could score him from second to home, depending on how hard it's hit, or the lack thereof. Get guys into scoring position. Mookie Betts in Game 1 had 2 stolen bases, and he scored on a fielder's choice ground ball to the infield from third. He stole second. He stole third. Weak ground ball hit, and he made it home to play a very important run for LA. That's what you need, and the Dodgers are going to steal bases. They're going to play small ball. So are the Tampa Bay Rays. And, I mean, of course, we all know Kevin Cash is very good at playing the matchup. That's something you also have to do. You see a lot of righties up in the you see a lot of righties up in the lineup. You want to go to a lefty. You don't want to go to a lefty, rather. You want to go to a right-handed pitcher. But in Kevin Cash's sake, say Walker Buehler does end up going 5-6 innings, he might want to take out some of his right-handed hitters and exchange them for bench bats who hit from the left side. Because that's playing the matchups, and, you know, more often than not, guys are going to do better against pitchers who are opposite-handed. Now, I went off on a little tangent there, but the count is 2-2 to the Dodgers' third baseman, and he fouls this one back and out of play. So we'll do it again. 47 pitches for Morton in 2 2/3 innings. They're flashing back to videos of Charlie Morton celebrating after retiring the last Dodger in Game 7 of the 2017 World Series for the win. And Justin Turner down the line. That should be good for extra bases. Let's see if they send Seager home. They will not. So Justin Turner continues to start off Game 3 very hot. He's got 2 extra base hits through his first 2 at-bats, a solo home run in the first, and a 2-out double here in the third. That brings up Max Muncy with a big opportunity, 2 men in scoring position and 2 away. So Seager gets held up at third base. Now again, potentially playing the small ball there, if a stolen base was the move, he could have and probably most likely would have scored on that. However, with 2 outs, of course, now's not the right time. I'm just saying in general, the Dodgers are a team who are going to steal bases to put themselves in that position and to utilize certain guys on their team like Corey Seager and like Mookie Betts who can definitely run. Max Muncy's going to check his swing, but will not be able to get it back in time. He goes around strike 1. Muncy has a single through 1 at-bat back in the first. It was a 2-out single to follow up the JT home run. Now let's see if he can follow up the third baseman's 2-out double. He checks his swing again, and the third base umpire says he does not go around. The count's even. 2 men in scoring position. You have to capitalize here if you're the Dodgers, because Charlie Morton having a very rare off day in October baseball right now with the Rays. He's definitely not looking like himself. Again, going into tonight was 3-0 in 3 games this postseason with a .57 ERA. He is now allowed not a whole lot of hits, only with 3, but 4 base runners and 1 run, 2 extra base hits. a hit by pitch against Corey Seager's Futures that extended this inning, and now the count goes 3-1 to Muncy. If he draws ball 4, that will load the bases for the designated hitter Will Smith, who has found some success this postseason. It's a showdown between Morton and Muncy. Muncy ahead 3-1 on the count, and fouls this one down the first base line, strike 2. The count goes full, 2 on, 2 outs, top of the third. Dodgers looking to add to their only 1-run lead, and we'll see if they can do that here. Or at least keep the inning alive, getting Max Muncy on base. The count goes full. Charlie Morton with the payoff pitch to LA's first baseman. And there we go. Max Muncy going to line this one up to center field. It'll hop a few times before getting into Kevin Kiermaier, who hits the cutoff man, but not in time. It's a 2 RBI double for Max Muncy. There we go. Make it a 3-0 ball game. The Dodgers have gotten to Charlie Morton, and that is huge. Turner will play to run. Seager will play to run. And it's a 2 RBI, 2 out single for Max. He goes to 2 for 2 on the day. You think third time is the charm for LA? I sure hope so. I'm rooting for them to win this one here, as Will Smith fouls it out of play. And of course, by win this one, I mean win the World Series. They've come up short in 2 of the past 3 seasons. They made it this far in 2017 when they lost against the Astros. Whole cheating scandal, but nonetheless, they lost against the Astros. Whether or not they deserved it, different story. And then they lost to the Red Sox in 2018. 2019, they were eliminated by the Washington Nationals in the earlier stages of the postseason bracket, and then Washington, of course, went on to win it all last year. And then now, the Dodgers have a 3-run lead in Game 3, which could give them a 2-1 lead in the series and maybe give them their first World Series win in quite some time. Counts 0-2 to the Dodgers DH. He sends this one for a ride out to center field. Kevin Kiermaier on the track, or just in front of the track, will make the catch, so it's a fly out to center to end the inning. However, 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 man left on base for the Dodgers. They extend their 1-run lead and make it a 3-run ball game. We go to the bottom of the third. Willy Adames, Kevin Kiermaier, and Mike Zunino will all find themselves in the box for the first time this game, here in the home half of this inning. Just a little over 40 minutes of gameplay, and it's gone by fairly quickly. The Dodgers have a 3-run lead going to the home half of the third inning, and 2 runs were added to that total on behalf of Max Muncy RBI single. Yes, I am watching on Fox 5 right now. That is the station that the World Series is being broadcasted on for me and for a lot of Major League Baseball fans currently tuning in. Fox 5 indeed is the way to go. Each and every game of the World Series will be on this channel, whether it's 5, 6, or 7 games in the set. Again, we're guaranteed at least a best of 7. That'll go 5 games total, with the series being tied 1-1. This is a huge game right here, because it can be said whoever wins this game has a very good shot at the series. Obviously, they would have the upper hand, being up 2-1 in the set, but if the Dodgers win this one, that means they were able to get to Max Morton. They were able to get to Charlie Morton. And they were also able to hit Tyler Glasnow in Game 1. So that really only leaves Blake Snell. And he can be used out of the bullpen in the later games of this series, but I'm sure he will be a starter probably Game 5, depending on what the series looks like at that point. But LA's lineup has gotten to 2 of the 3 really strong Tampa Bay Ray arms. And that's big. Of course, that can change on any given day. But we know, and we knew going into this set, that the Dodgers had the better lineup. Bullpen, it was very close between the Rays and the Dodgers, who had the upper hand. A lot can say Tampa Bay Rays. I would probably say the Rays, but it is extremely close. A lot closer than I actually thought. I saw a demographic going into Game 1 of the World Series where team bullpen numbers were extremely tight between the Rays and the Dodgers, and I did not realize that, but both have really strong arms for later innings of gameplay. Now, the starting rotation, considering the Dodgers only have, I believe, 2 starters listed on their active roster in Kershaw and Buehler, those 2 starters have gone very far and have tremendously helped the Dodgers, as the count is 1-1 to Adames, 1-2 as he swings through a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. And the Rays, I mean, they relied on pitching. They rely on pitching. They score minimal runs, but it is enough. The runs that they score are usually enough to win certain ball games. Adames takes a fastball up and away. Count goes 2-2. But yeah, the lineup isn't necessarily anything to get excited for. It is one of the lowest payrolls in Major League Baseball, but one of the best lineups that we've seen this season. Of course, being that they've made it this far and to the World Series. Justin Turner gloves the ball well over at third. A throw a little bit wide, but Max Muncy makes the catch, and that is the first out. So it's a 5-3 ground out to get the bottom of the third going. How many games does a team have to win in order to win it all? Well, a team needs to win 4 games. It's a best of 7, so the first team to 4 W's in this World Series will go ahead and lock up the championship title, as Kevin Kiermaier takes a fastball off the edge of the plate for ball 1. Buehler is behind in the count 1-0, makes it 2-0 now as the fastball gets spiked down in the dirt. Kiermaier hitting .209 this postseason, and Walker Buehler has thrown 29 pitches. Again, Kiermaier just followed up that .209 average, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, no stolen bases, and a .669 OPS in 43 at-bats. The 2-2 payoff pitch is going to be a fastball at the knees. Strike 1. 30 pitches for Buehler, who has struck out 4 through his first 2 1/3 innings of work. Now a fastball up that Kiermaier will not be able to make contact with. The count goes to 2-2. An even count, Walker Buehler deals. And it's a fastball 98, touches the black, and Kiermaier will keep the at-bat going. He fouls this one. Spoils it away. And the count will remain 2-2. On deck is Mike Zunino. Buehler yet again with the 2-2 payoff pitch. And it's a fastball. Does he hold up? Yes, he does, says the third base umpire. So Kiermaier with a successful check swing. Count goes full now. And this is the first at-bat where Walker Buehler has had some sort of difficulty so far. Count's full with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. And it's a fastball inside. Kevin Kiermaier ropes it down the line just right of the right field foul pole. And it's a foul ball. That almost gets the Rays on the board with a 1-out solo shot off the left-handed bat of the center fielder. Full count, one away in the bottom of the third. Buehler with a fastball up will miss the zone. And that's the Rays' first base runner of the night, courtesy of ball 4. Mike Zunino will step into the box now, the number 9 batter and catcher for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's hitting 182 in October baseball, but with 4 home runs, 8 RBIs, and a 650 on base plus slugging through 44 at-bats. So the average might not be great. He might not necessarily hit for contact, but when he does hit the ball well, he's going to do some damage. 4 homers, 8 RBIs. He's had a lot of production there from that bottom third of the lineup. And as a matter of fact, he is in the top 3 for runs batted in, team-based. He's 0 for 7 in the World Series with 2 strikeouts. With 2 strikeouts. But Zunino has 8 RBIs. Manny Margot has 11. And he's the team leader. Randy Arozarena sandwiched in between the two with 10 runs batted in. So that is, 3 guys who have totaled just under 30 ribbies in October. Played a big part of Tampa Bay's hitting. The count is 1-1 with 1 out and 1 man on. Of course, Buehler working for the double play ball. "37 pitches for the right-hand starting pitcher. And Zunino hits it right to Justin Turner. Makes a nice pick. The throw over to second in time. The throw to first in time. Taylor made double play. 5-4-3 just as they drew it up. That gets Buehler out of the inning. And what a play by Justin Turner. One hop right into the glove. And the Dodgers are excited about that one. 5-4-3 double play. There we go. No hits, no runs, 1 man left on base. Of course, no earned runs for the Tampa Bay Rays. We go to the top of the 4th, and it is still a 3-0 ball game. Due up for the Dodgers will be Cody Bellinger, Chris Taylor, and Joc Pederson. Now, Belly led off the away half of the second frame, flying out to left field on the first pitch of his at-bat. We'll see if he can have some success here against Morton his second time around. Unfortunately, I cannot show the game because of copyright reasons. I do not own the rights to Major League Baseball, the Rays, the Dodgers, or Fox. So I cannot show the game, but I am doing a live play-by-play coverage for you all. So if you guys want to just tune in, I'm covering each and every at-bat we have since the beginning and first pitch of this ball game. I'll probably go 5-6 innings strong. We'll see, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, just depending on the time and how the game is going. But I like to go ahead, stream for a little bit, and then just casually watch as a fan. Especially these World Series moments really savor what is the last few games of the 2020 season. So Charlie Morton, we've seen the tables turn a little bit here in his 4th postseason start with the Rays. A 3-0 record in 3 games going into tonight with an ERA of .57. Sub 1, let alone sub 2, which is phenomenal. But then now he has given up 3 runs in just as many innings of work in Game 3 of the World Series. So struggling a little bit to find that control. But we will go ahead and see if he can get back into the groove of things here in the top of the 4th and start to shut down the Dodgers. Because if you're Morton, you just cannot let this game get out of hand. 3 runs is definitely possible to come back from. You can even do that with 1 swing of the bat even. But you cannot let this get out of your grasp. The Dodgers are a team that can definitely hit the ball and hit the ball well, and we've seen that already throughout their first 9 outs offensively. You do not want to allow much more because once they get the ball rolling, they're not going to stop. We saw it with the Braves in the NLCS. The Dodgers put up 11 runs in the first inning alone. This team can hit, and they have tasted a World Series championship in years past, 2017, 2018. It came so close both times. They just missed in 2019. They were eliminated to the next World Series champions, but now they're in it. They're in it to win. I mean, granted, the Rays are too, but they are definitely looking to go ahead and finally secure this title themselves. And a 4-man outfield from the Tampa Bay Rays, we've seen that quite a bit in the postseason, but that doesn't matter to Cody Bellinger as he singles this one into just about right center field, and it's a leadoff base knock. Bellinger does indeed get his first base hit of the game here in the 4th. Dodgers need to win the World Series. I'm right there with you. I agree with you 100%. I would love to see LA come ahead and win it all here in 2020. I had predicted them to win in Game 7 of the World Series dating back to the start of the postseason. And I had also said at that point I thought Corey Seager would be the series MVP. And he's coming off of an NLCS MVP award, so we'll see if the Dodgers win, whether or not he will get that same title here in the most important series of any given season. But I'm definitely rooting for LA. Both teams deserve to win. I don't necessarily care who wins because I would not be upset if Tampa Bay comes out with the win. Just a very good team. Very, very good team. And they have what it takes to win. They've proved that. Their pitching is phenomenal. Their hitting gets the job done. Like, 2 very well-rounded teams going at it. And Chris Taylor will strike out on 3 pitches. That is Morton's 5th punchy of the game. And first out here in the top of the 4th. Dodgers in 5. Mark your word. All right, let's see it. I'm excited. Also, guys, if you're in the chat right now, if you're in the stream, let me know. What are your predictions? Who are you winning and in how many games? Dodgers in 5. In the chat, I say Dodgers in 7. In steps Joc Pederson now, who's 0 for 4 in the World Series. Now, I would love to see a Game 7 just because, of course, it makes things more interesting, but also really extend the 2020 end of the season. You know, if it is only a 5-game set, that does mean we miss 2 potential games in the 2020 year. But yeah, of course, as a baseball fan, you know, a lot of you can agree with us, I'm sure. But just that dreaded winter from the end of October to start of February can be tough. It can be tough without Major League Baseball action. As Joc Pederson picks up his first hit of the World Series. It's a single down the right field line. Cody Bellinger will advance 2 bases on the hit. So it's 1st and 3rd with 1 out now for Austin Barnes. A single from Bellinger to lead off the inning. A strikeout from Chris Taylor. And then a nice hit down the line from Joc Pederson that just gets past the jumping glove of Ji-Man Choi. He nearly made that catch, and initially, Cody Bellinger started to move back towards first, just in case that was caught. He hustles around second, makes the turn, gets to third safely, so runners at the corners again with 1 out for Austin Barnes. Going into tonight was hitting .353 in 17 at-bats. He's 0 for 6 in the World Series, though, with no home runs and no RBI, so a big opportunity for him here to capitalize as he shows bunt but pulls back in time for ball 1. We get a Go Dodgers in the chat. Guys, let me hear your predictions. Who do you think's winning the World Series and in how many games? I'm interested to know. We got Game 5 Dodgers. I say Game 7 Dodgers win it all. But it can very well be said, I think I mentioned this maybe 10-15 minutes ago, that whoever wins this game could potentially go ahead and win the rest of the series. Dodgers in 6. I like it. And just like that, I mean, Austin Barnes, a suicide squeeze bunt, sends it right down the first base line. Cody Bellinger scores. And Jock Peterson advances to second. So Bellinger plates the 4th run of the game for LA. Barnes with a sac bunt. And Peterson moves into scoring position. Make it 4-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Mookie, Corey, and Turner is a good starting lineup already. It's phenomenal. Just the 3 guys. I mean, this lineup for the Dodgers is so incredibly talented from top to bottom. It looks like every guy can be an above-average player, at least at the plate. Of course, maybe some exceptions. Chris Taylor, Austin Barnes, some guys who don't necessarily have a whole lot of success, not the majority of their career, but who can definitely piece together hits in big situations and play a big part and factor into this lineup. But Mookie Betts, Corey Seager, Justin Turner, as mentioned in the chat. Then Max Muncy to follow it up. Will Smith has done well this postseason. Cody Bellinger, always in the talks for one of the best players in the National League since he made his debut in 2017. Jock Peterson has had his fair share of success over the years. Very talented team. It makes sense as to why they've been in the World Series and earned a pennant in 3 of the past 4 years. They're just so incredibly good. Acquiring Mookie Betts this offseason was so important because I think that gave them the push to have enough to finally go ahead and secure a World Series win. As we're talking about Mookie Betts, he's in at the plate right now and behind in the count 1-2. Just a friendly reminder, Jock Peterson leads off of second in scoring position with 2 outs, and Betts is hitless through his first 2 appearances. A ground out to short to lead off the game in the top of the first, and then a strikeout back in the third. The count's 2-2 to Mookie as off-speed gets in the dirt. Zunino does a good job to keep it in front of him. Mookie's defense, is so incredibly good. Mookie Betts is robbing home runs. He's hitting home runs. He has 1 home run this postseason. It came in the World Series the other day. His first home run since I think it was September 17th or 18th. I believe just Mookie Betts and Cody Bellinger in the outfield next to each other is ridiculous. We've seen both of them rob home runs this postseason. Mookie Betts on more than one occasion. He keeps baseballs in the field of play. Turns home runs into big outs for the Dodgers. Does a great job patrolling right field. Is tied in the count 2-2. Make it 3-2. Fastball misses down the way. Morton struggling. His fastball right there hit 94, but he's at 72 pitches through 3 2/3. The Dodgers have beaten him up quite a bit here. So the count is full with a runner on second to Mookie Betts. Corey Seager is in the on-deck circle in case he gets his third at-bat. And Mookie sends this one up the middle. Willy Adames won't be able to get there. And Jock Peterson comes around to score. So it's an RBI single for Mookie Betts. And the Dodgers are up 5-0. Kevin Cash, it doesn't look like has signaled to his bullpen yet at all. So there's no one warming up quite yet. At least from what I can see. Which is a very limited view. Granted, because of the broadcast. But 5-0 LA. We mentioned the statistic that when the Dodgers win, Mookie Betts is hitting over 300. And that Mookie Betts has an average below 100 in LA losses this postseason. He's now 1 for 3, putting the average at 333 on the game. And a big RBI there with 2 outs puts the Dodgers up by 5. And it's a 1-0 count now to Corey Seager. Morton falls behind. Now, Corey had a big hit by pitch back in the third, and I say big because it was with 2 outs. He reached first. Justin Turner doubled. So it was second and third. Max Muncy had a 2 RBI single, and that would play 2 more runs for LA. And Mookie Betts giving America more free tacos with the stolen base. That's his 5th swiped bag of the postseason and 3rd of the World Series. Looks like Dodgers are in the running for the win here in Game 3. Of course, as we've been talking about here in the top of this inning, I would like to see the Dodgers go ahead and win this series. Of course, that would lead to a World Series championship, the first time in years for this Dodgers organization. It looks like there's finally going to be a call to start getting someone ready in the bullpen. 2-1 count, big swing and miss from Corey Seager, but that Mookie Betts stolen base just goes right back to what I said a little while ago, in the fact that the Los Angeles Dodgers are going to play small ball, they're going to steal bases and get guys in scoring position, so a single will get them more insurance, or will put them back in this game little by little. Seager puts this one in play. Joey Wendell, what a grab. The throw over to Ji-Man Choi in time pulls him off the bag, but he is said to make the tag for out number 3. Just incredible play by both Wendell and Ji-Man Choi, sticking with it. Jumps to make the catch so it doesn't go over his head, and then tags Corey Seager. And that ends the inning. So a 5-3 ground out. 2 runs for the Los Angeles Dodgers. That is on 3 hits and 1 man left on base. Mookie Betts got to second via the stolen base, but did not get any further following the Corey Seager ground out to end the inning. So it is 5-0 in Los Angeles' favor. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and the top of the lineup is due up for Tampa Bay. I am a New York Yankees fan, so of course the American League representatives knocked my team out in the championship series this year. I was live for that game. That was tough. My reaction was very disappointing, very upsetting, but we got it all on YouTube. I was here with a bunch of Yankee fans in the chat at the time, and just, a lot of guys who are always in the chat for my live streams. So thank you to everyone who was tuning in then. Thank you to everyone who's tuning in now. Thank you to everyone who has shown support to the channel at one point or another. I appreciate you all, and would not be where I am without each and every one of you, so I appreciate it very much. But yeah, I am Yankees fan, so we miss out yet again on a World Series berth, but is what it is. I would say maybe next year, but I feel like that's been the mantra for the New York Yankees come October these past 2 seasons, and at one point it's just not acceptable. Very tough loss in that final game of the championship series. It was rough, definitely rough. But nonetheless, the Rays, phenomenal team. They deserve to be here 100%. Both the Yankees and Tampa Bay had really good teams. World Series worthy teams. World Series winner worthy teams. And the Rays did make it this far. They earned it. They should be here 100%. I'm happy for them. Their first pennant since the 2008 season. But then they would later go on to lose the World Series to the Phillies. And the Rays organization still looking for their first World Series victory in franchise history. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Austin Meadows will lead it off for the Rays. Nathaniel, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Hope you're enjoying the stream here. and you're having a good time, Austin Meadows will take called strike one. Fastball up and away, perfectly placed by Walker Buehler. He is really hitting his spots well, and he has been hitting his spots well early on in this game. It shows, and the result from Rays batters is a perfect piece of evidence for that. They have no hits, one base runners via a walk, and Buehler then escaped it with a ground out double play. Thank you, Nate. I really appreciate it. Swing and a miss, strike two. Meadows falls behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the Rays trail by 5 here in the home half of the fourth, looking at their first hit of the game. Meadows will foul this one back. Count remains 1-2. Now Walker has 42 pitches under his belt through 3 completed innings. He of course has worked well into the fourth here now. A few pitches into this first at bat against Austin Meadows, who grounded out to the first baseman to start the bottom of the first inning. Breaking ball will miss outside. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brandon Lowe in the on-deck circle. Of course, his game 2 was a big one. He broke out of his slump with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. Joey Wendell then had 3 runs batted in for a total of 6 plated runs in game 2. That was enough to edge out over the Dodgers and led to Tampa Bay's first World Series win, World Series game win since 2008. The count goes full now to Austin Meadows, and you can see Austin Barnes going to be like, hey, relax, chill out a little bit, to Buehler. And the designated hitter will line this one to Cody Bellinger for the first out. Buehler works a long at-bat right there, but does retire the batter. So a line out to center is how this one gets underway. Buehler has resulted to his fastball quite a lot this game, and he has thrown the four-seamer 20 times for a strike. Now, of course, he's missed the fastball a few times, but 20 strike fastballs of 45 pitches. Really good ratio right there. Buehler having a lot of success with his primary pitch. He's showing that he has his command, and it's paying off for him right here. Brandon Lowe is batting 200 in the World Series. His only 2 hits are the home runs from last game. And he falls behind in the count to Buehler, 0-2. Now, Brandon Lowe went down looking his first time around. And there is a shift defensively. Justin Turner from third base over to the right side of the second base bag on the complete opposite side of the diamond. Corey Seager is kind of playing an adjusted shortstop, shadowing a little closer to second base and a little closer back onto the grass than in the middle of the infield dirt. 0-2 to Lowe, he fouls this one back, and we'll try it again. Brandon Lowe, swing and a miss, strike 3 on a breaking ball that runs inside 82 miles an hour. Lowe with 2 punch-outs in his first 2 at-bats. And that is 5 total strikeouts for the Dodgers right-hander. And that's also his first strikeout since the second inning, in which he struck out back-to-back batters in Ji-Man Choi and Manny Margot. Randy Arozarena comes in for his second plate appearance and will take a changeup for called strike 1. That's a generous call from the home plate umpire. He's deemed some pitches strikes well outside the zone here in this game, especially early on. And Randy, who was previously 1 for 7 going into this at-bat in the World Series, sends one back to the wall, but Cody Bellinger will just have enough room for the third and final out. So 2 lineouts to center field, none of which get down for hits. And then a strikeout from Brandon Lowe gets Walker Buehler in and out of the inning in a hurry. 3 up, 3 down, no hits, no runs, no men left on base. We go to the top of the 5th. Justin Turner, who's having a day, Max Muncy, also having quite the appearance, and Will Smith are all due up. Now, Turner and Muncy, as I said, both are 2 for 2 with incredibly big hits in this game so far. Turner with that solo home run got the ball rolling, started the momentum for the Dodgers here in Game 3. That solo home run came back in the first inning. Then he had a double with 2 outs and a runner on first and third. Max Muncy, both times, followed up Turner with a single. Just in the third inning, Muncy's single was good for 2 RBIs as well. So Turner, Muncy, Smith, all due up in the top of the 5th. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the scoreboard here. There we go. Top 5. Dodgers lead by 5 and look to add on to this lead. Really take some control and lock in this win here. The Rays are down, but they're definitely not out. We've seen teams come back from worse deficits in games before. It's possible. The Rays, they just need a good little streak. Maybe all they're looking for is to get Walker Buehler out of the game. Once that happens, they can get to the bullpen. Definitely a possibility. Again, like we covered about maybe an hour ago, bloops and blasts are all you need. Get a few singles, a base knock, maybe work a walk or two here and there. And then when you have guys on base, all you need is just to keep that single mentality going. Just hit the ball, try to get it down the line or right back up the middle and score runs. And slowly but surely, you will be able to get back into this ball game. That's what the Rays have to do at this point. Again, they are down 5, but it's definitely possible for them to come back. It's very doable. They have the lineup to pull it off. And they haven't had success much at the plate offensively yet. But that can change at any given point. So, again, Dodgers to go to the top of the 5th. Their 3, 4, 5 batters are all due up. That's the heart of the lineup right there. Justin Turner, Max Muncy, Will Smith. We'll see if Justin Turner, Dodgers third baseman batting third tonight, can go ahead and continue his great performance so far and get his 3rd hit of the game. He's got the home run. He's got the double. And the Dodgers have 5 runs on 7 hits. First pitch to JT is a fastball at the knees. He sees strike 1. Now, that came in at 92 miles per hour, so Morton definitely running out of gas in the tank. 79 pitches through 4 completed innings, and this is going to be an off-speed pitch down and away for ball 1. But that fastball was hovering right around 94 for Morton the first few innings of this game. That one drops down to 92. And I think he is getting to this point where 5th inning might be his last. I do see where Kevin Cash is coming from, keeping him in this game. He's given up 5 runs, which is a lot, especially for Morton in a postseason game. I hate to keep bringing up this stat, but this postseason, 3 games pitched, a 3-0 record, and a .57 ERA. Career postseason numbers, a 2.84 ERA in 12 games, winning 7, losing 2 of those matchups. I mean, it's hard and it's tough to see a guy with such great success have a few rough innings, but at the same time, rooting for the Dodgers, so go LA. And kind of forgot where I was going with it there, but Morton, I think I was trying to get to the point where just Charlie running out of energy in tank, 83 pitches, 2-2 count to Turner now. Cash doesn't want to take him out, though, because the Dodgers seem to have a nice, comfortable lead, and if that's the point, if that's what's going on right now, Cash does not want to go and burn bullpen arms for them to lose this ballgame. He's not going to go to Pete Fairbanks and to some of their better back-end guys, because that wastes it. If the Rays are in a better opportunity, better scenario tomorrow in Game 4 to win, that's when you want to use your big names, your big arms, and save them. He's really just pushing Morton to get as much out of him as he can. Then he'll go probably to either a reliever an inning to keep the pitch count down and broaden the availability for future games, or he's going to go ahead and have one guy come in for 2 or 3 innings, and then just try to run out the clock from there. But Justin Turner will go down, swing and miss, strike 3. First out of the fifth, first time he's retired this game. And Muncy gets ahead in the count 1-0 to start this year. Max has had some incredible success this World Series, 4 for 9 with 4 RBIs, and this one's 2-0. Or the count's not 2-0, so this one runs inside. Yeah, going into tonight, Max Muncy had 10 runs batted in. He's added 2 to that total and has the opportunity to get on base for his third time this game right here as he takes a fastball right down Broadway for strike 1. Back to this 4-man outfield for the Rays, which we've already seen against Cody Bellinger back in the 4th inning. Bellinger singled right back up the middle, so it didn't really matter then. We'll see if maybe the 4-man outfield strategy works. Cash is on the phone, getting someone warming up in the bullpen, it looks like. 2-2 count to Muncy, who's 2 for 2 on the day, and this one gonna get by Zunino and run inside. Count goes full. Both no one on base. That passed ball does not really do any damage to the Rays. Morton had not allowed a single home run through 15 and a third postseason innings here in 2020. He's only given up 1 here in this game, but then he also hasn't really allowed a run in that time either, and 5 earned runs through 4 and a third innings as he loses the battle to Max Muncy, who will draw ball 4 and reach base. Kevin Cash coming out to the mound to take Charlie Morton out of this ball game. That's a tough one there. I'm sure it's a tough pill to swallow for Charlie Morton. However, we're gonna go to the bullpen. John Curtis will relieve the Rays' right-handed veteran starter. Curtis stands 6'5", 220 pounds, and is 27 years old. He made his Major League Baseball debut on August 25th of 2017. At least so it says on MLB.com. But Curtis is a rookie this year. For Tampa Bay, a 7.71 ERA in 7 games. He started one of those games as an opener, and that 7.71 ERA in 7 games is with 7 innings pitched, allowing 10 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned runs, and 2 home runs, totaling 128 pitches, 7 strikeouts, and a batting average against of .333. His whip is 2.00 flat, and his ground out to air out ratio is .86. So Curtis definitely has gotten hit around a little bit. Those 7 games, that's his postseason cumulative. If we look at the regular season, Curtis had a 1.8 ERA, much better. 1.8 ERA in 17 games, 3 starts, 25 innings, 21 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 home runs allowed, and a .223 batting average against, .96 whip, and .66 ground out to air out ratio. So his numbers are considerably better in regular season play. It looks like the postseason environment might get to him a little bit. This is his October baseball debut in 2020. But prior to this season, he pitched with the Twins in 2017 and 2018. He also pitched for the Dodgers in 2019. So if he stuck around that squad, he might be on the winning end of this ball game at this point. But no, now he's with the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Rays organization signed him as a free agent to a minor league contract and invited him to spring training on February 3rd of this year. The first pitch from John Curtis is to Will Smith. It's a breaking ball for called strike 1. So Curtis in. Max Muncy on first. 1 out. Will Smith is hitless through 2 at-bats. Strike out and fly out. Timeout will be called. Again, Will Smith up in the box right now. He has had some big at-bats in this postseason run. 222 average coming tonight. Little low, but 2 home runs, 13 RBIs. Baseball really is no longer about the batting average. It's not as important, per se, as it used to be. So a 222 batting average really doesn't mean a whole lot right now because there are so many more advanced stats and sabermetrics that go into any given baseball game and player. Average does not define or determine how good or bad someone is. And I think a very good example of that is Christian Yelich in the regular season. Granted, also, outside circumstances that came into play, COVID, 60-game season, everything like that. But Yelich still only hit, I believe, sub 200, like something around 170 maybe. Will Smith down in the count, 0-2, flies to Manny Margot, and that is out number 2. Let me go ahead and fact check that there. Looking up Christian Yelich's stats on the 2020 season. The Brewers did make it to October play, but then were eliminated in 2 games as the Dodgers swept. So in 2020, Yelich hit 205. At one point, he was hitting low. But 200 at-bats, 12 home runs, 22 ribbies, 4 stolen bases. Like, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases, OPS alone are, really big numbers to go by because that's showing production. Yelich's 200 batting average, not necessarily the best. But granted, we're not really in that stage where batting average means a whole lot at this point. And now Cody Bellinger fouls this one back for strike 2. Dodgers looking to avoid stranding Max Muncy over at first. We'll see if that's possible. Curtis has thrown 5 pitches and had some pretty good success up until this point. Bellinger, 0-2 count. Fastball right down the pipe. He fouls back. He was a little bit late on it. We'll go ahead and try it again. An 0-2 count. Top of the 5th. It's a 5-0 ball game. And this will be a changeup down in the dirt for ball 1. Bellinger flew out to left in the 2nd, had a single and scored in the 4th, and now has fallen behind 1-2 in the count as he's 1 for 2 on the day. Okay, the count still 1-2 as they check up on Muncy over at first. It's a 1-2 count to Cody Bellinger, who is batting 6th here tonight. And swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him. Cody Bellinger will go down on strikes. John Curtis comes in, does a very good job of relieving Charlie Morton. Gets in and gets out of this game. I will be right back in just a few seconds. When I return, it'll go bottom of the 5th inning. Tampa Bay Rays trail by 5. All right, so here we go. Hello to everyone in the chat. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, so we go to the bottom of the 5th. The Dodgers lead by 5, and the Rays have not had much success. They have fell quiet to the very dominant Walker Buehler, who has only seemingly gotten better as this postseason has advanced. Each and every start, he has done extremely well coming into tonight. This postseason, he was 1-0 in 4 games pitched with a 1.89 ERA. That earned run average has dropped down quite a bit now. I will give you that exact number as we speak. But he has done very well limiting the Rays' production and giving the Dodgers a big opportunity to go ahead and win this game. They have a 5-run lead. It's honestly Los Angeles' game to lose at this point, backed by a strong Walker Buehler, who has gone 4 innings pitched of scoreless baseball. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Buehler's numbers for us, see if it's updated on MLB.com. Hey, thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate it. Alright, so let's go ahead here. Look at Buehler's stats as he comes in for his 5th inning of work. Strike 1 to Ji-Man Choi. So his ERA has not updated yet on MLB.com. But he has a 0 ERA in the World Series, of course, as this is his first appearance in the Fall Classic here in 2020. So this is the first time either team was no-hit for 4 innings in back-to-back games since 1965 in the World Series. I don't want to throw that term out there much, if at all. But that has held strong and very true through this game so far with Walker Buehler and the Rays. And then in Game 2, Blake Snell was so incredibly dominant, he would not allow or did not allow a hit to the Dodgers lineup for quite some time. And the count is even now at 2 apiece to Rays first baseman and left-handed hitter Ji-Man Choi. Manny Margot is on deck. Now, Choi has only had 1 at-bat to this point, which came back in the 2nd inning, and he struck out looking. Buehler will deal 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A nice elevated fastball that Choi will not be able to keep up with. So got him swinging. That is now 6 strikeouts total for Walker in this Game 3 start. So one man retired here in the bottom of the fifth, and that brings up Manuel Margot, who will take a fastball up at the letters at 96, by the way, for ball one. Now, we've seen Walker Buehler flirt with 100 miles per hour a little bit. He reached 90 on the fastball once. I think 98 a small handful of times, maybe once or twice. He's now going to dot one at 97 right down the middle that Margot takes for strike one. But a very solid fastball range. And it's been up and down. It's been kind of escalating and decreasing as we go throughout. But he can definitely pump one by you here. The count's 2-1. This one will miss outside the zone. And Margot with the favorable lead in the at-bat, but he swings at a fastball above the belt. This one will be fouled back. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes, so even with 1 away and nobody on. I just want to say right now, hour and 41 minutes into the stream, this has been one of my favorite postseason live coverages that I've done on the channel. So just thank you to everyone who has joined in at one point or another, everyone who is currently listening and or watching. I appreciate it. I've had a whole lot of fun so far tonight, and we're going to keep it going strong for at least a little bit longer. And this is a fair ball down the line. Manny Margot on a full count sends it out to left field, and it's good for a 1-out double. See, now I feel bad, though, because I read the no-hit demographic on screen, and I said the words, and the Rays notched their first hit of the game. So Manny Margot follows up a G-Man choice strikeout with a double down the third base line. Really good hit, by the way. Props to him. But that's the first time, minus a walk to Kevin Kiermaier, that someone has beaten out Buehler on the bump tonight. Joey Wendell steps in 2 for 8 in the World Series with 3 RBIs. They all came from Game 2 of the World Series. And 5 total RBIs this postseason. So, majority of his runs batted in this October have been from this World Series set. But yeah, I've really had a lot of fun calling this one. On a personal level, I think I'm calling it pretty well. Of course, the purpose of this is to be able to interact with you guys, watch the game, cover play-by-play and stuff. But also, I want to further my abilities and just my overall speaking. I guess when it comes to broadcasting a game, this is a career that I want to pursue down the line in the future, and I fully intend on doing so. That was one of the reasons why I started YouTube back in 2018, as Wendell fouls this one back, 1-2. And I just feel like every live stream I do helps me get better. And I think that this one has gone very well on my behalf. And rooting for the Dodgers, they're doing well, so that's great. And thank you to everyone who has joined in. We've had a nice number of views throughout the entirety of this live, an hour and 45 minutes in, give or take. 1-2 count to Wendell, and he'll foul back a fastball at 98 miles per hour, right at the top portion of the zone. This has been a lot of fun. I do not know how deep into this game we're going to go, call-wise. I'd say probably at least 6 innings, maybe more, maybe less. Just kind of depending on the pace of how this all goes. But of course, I'll keep you guys updated here. Swing and a miss. Wendell will chase a pitch down in the dirt. No, it's fouled. Okay, foul tip apparently. So we'll try it again. Not a strikeout. He makes contact with that ball? Doesn't look like it. It looks like he swung just over it. And there's the home plate umpire with another not good call here in this one. I think that should have been a strikeout to the Rays' third baseman. 1-2 and fouled back. Dodgers lead 5-0. Runner on second. That's Manny Margot. The count is 1-2 to Joey Wendell, and there is one man retired. That was G-Man Choi on a strikeout. Wendell this time will strike out on an all-speed pitch down in the dirt. He swings over, and that is strikeout number 7 for Walker Buehler. He has now thrown 69 pitches in the ball game through 4 2/3 innings. Buehler has most definitely performed to a very high extent and great quality here in Game 3. You would have to assume he at least gets the nod to start the 6th inning, as he's only at, this will be pitch number 70, and almost 5 completed innings. Adames fouls back the first pitch of his at-bat for strike 1, and Willie, the shortstop for the Rays, is 1 for 7 here in the World Series, so not much success in the postseason as a whole. A 136 average with 44 at-bats under his belt, 3 runs batted in, 1 stolen base, and a 549 OPS. 0-1 goes to 0-2 as the fastball up is fouled back yet again. No balls and 2 strikes from Walker Buehler to Willie Adames. The 0-2 is spoiled away again. Fastball registering at 99 miles per hour. So Buehler really getting the velo up there. And just looking good on the mound. Definitely a start well needed for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Needed something solid to come out of this. Walker Buehler versus Charlie Morton, we knew it was going to be a pitching duel. It was a little lopsided, though, as the Rays starter was not as successful as he's been in past World Series games. Postseason games. But Willie Adames is going to loop one down the left field line, and that's going to be an RBI double. Willie's got his second hit of the postseason. It's going to be good for an RBI, 2-base knock, and the Rays are finally on the board. Let's go ahead and throw the first run up there for Tampa Bay on the scoreboard. So there we have it. The Rays are getting into this game offensively. It's 5-1. Kevin Kiermaier steps in first, but he grounds over to first. Max Muncy's there, and will go ahead and take it himself to end the inning. The Rays plate a run on 2 hits with 1 man left on base. It is a 4-run ball game. We go to the top of the 6th, which is probably going to go ahead and be my last inning live for today. I fully intend on going live at least for one of the 2 games this weekend. Ideally, we can do a play-by-play for both games 4 and 5. But I never do have a set schedule. It just kind of depends on, what I'm doing at the time. Sometimes I do like to just sit back and watch the game as a casual fan, just kind of be able to sit down and enjoy the game with someone else commentating through it. But yeah, I'll probably go ahead, stream for 6 full innings, and then hop back onto a YouTube live at some point either tomorrow or Sunday, so stay tuned for that. Best way for you guys to know when I go live, because I don't have a set schedule, is to subscribe and turn on the notifications. And that's pretty much it. That is guaranteed 100% an accurate way of going ahead and knowing when I either upload a regular video or start to go live. You guys know for sure you can go ahead and make sure you watch every moment of a live stream if you so please. But yeah, so we are going live. This is game 2 of the World Series I have been covering. Game 3, of course, of the set. It is tied at 1 apiece. And we head to the top of the 6th. The Dodgers lead decreased by just 1 run. It's now 5-1. And I'm assuming John Curtis will come back out because he did extremely well his first time around. He came in to relieve Charlie Morton in a big way, got the job done, and I think the Rays, at least until this game is a little bit closer, will be preserving their bigger bullpen arms for a little bit of time. Back to a commercial break here. We go to the top of the 6th for the Dodgers. It's going to be Chris Taylor, Joc Pederson, and Austin Barnes due up. Lots of commercials here in the World Series, and this break especially, but we are getting back to it. Again, it's going to be Taylor, Pederson, and Barnes due up. Taylor's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Pederson is 1 for 2 with a single, and then he later scored back in the 4th. And Barnes is 0 for 1. He struck out looking in the 3rd and then had a sacrifice bunt, RBI bunt, back in the 4th. Alright, so this one's been fun, guys. I really do enjoy watching the World Series. I know my team hasn't been in it in quite some time. New York Yankees really just have kind of choked as they make it to the postseason frequently, but can never make it really past the ALCS, at least in most recent years. However, hopefully the near future is our time. 2021 maybe might be the Yankees' year, and I hope to be saying this and maybe putting it out there because if that's the case, I'd be incredibly happy. Me with the Yankees in the World Series, I don't know how that would be because I live with every pitch of the Yankees. I live and breathe every pitch of the Yankees game. So when they're doing well, I'm doing well, and then when they're losing, I'm just not always super excited. And that's been demonstrated, I'm sure, plenty of times when I'm live covering Yankee games. But, of course, I think just as a big fan, you want to see your team win. Obviously. I mean, you don't want to see your team lose. But Yankees, it's their year soon. They have a good team. They just need to stay healthy. This free agency and this winter is going to be big. As much as I would love to see them pick up a Trevor Bauer, don't think they have the money for it whatsoever. Especially with how good Bauer is. If we sign him, I'd honestly be a little concerned because I feel like we're kind of cheating him just of money. But hopefully If he does decide to join the Yankees, which I would love, if we don't have a whole lot to offer him this year in monetary value, we can offer him a potential World Series run and victory. Just saying. I mean, of course, players take little consideration to that, but they're not like, oh, guaranteed World Series, because nothing's ever guaranteed. So, either way, that's just my little rant. I would love to see my favorite athlete join the New York Yankees this winter in Trevor Bauer. I think that would be awesome. That would be so, exciting, and I think that video, that upload on YouTube, would be a lot of fun for me to make, and just I think it'll be a fun one to view as well from your perspective. But yeah, I mean, no matter where Bauer goes, he's making a splash. He's gonna go to a competitive team, someone who either came close this year or was in it this year, a team with money who's gonna spend. I don't really know where he's gonna go. It's hard to say right now because there are just so many great teams, and of course, the negotiations can't start until 5 games after the end of the World Series, so he hasn't even really talked to anyone yet. I think there could be discussions with the Cincinnati Reds since their season's over, but he can't sign or anything until later. I could be wrong about that, though. I'm not an agent. I don't know a whole lot of information in that atmosphere of free agency. But Chris Taylor will go ahead and strike out to get the top of the 6th going for LA. So that brings up Joc Pederson now, who is 1 for 5 in the World Series. His first hit came in his last at-bat. And facing off against John Curtis, who's thrown 13 pitches in just about an innings of work. Pederson hits that ball extremely well. Just foul. Almost made this a 6-1 ball game, hitting his first home run of the World Series in 2020 at least. But I think this free agency as a whole, like the class, is going to be entertaining. Now, last year, of course, Garrett Cole, Steven Strasburg, Anthony Rendon were kind of like the toppers. This year, big names, Trevor Bauer, JT Realmuto. I mean, 2 great guys for any given battery. As Pederson pops one up to the left side of the infield, and that is caught by Joey Wendell, so I'll pop out to third for the second out now. Those 2 alone are great players. Realmuto is going to hit the ball well. He's going to play defense and be one of the top defensive catchers behind the plate. Well, probably overall, he's one of the better, well-rounded backstops in JT Realmuto. He will hit free agency officially in just a matter of time as Barnes takes called strike 1. So JT is in the mix. TB, Trevor Bauer, going to be in the free agent pool. So teams who made it close this year, like the San Diego Padres, are probably going to make some moves. I wouldn't be surprised if the White Sox get back out there, maybe dip in and spend a little bit more money. I don't know if they would go after, I don't think they'd go after a JT Realmuto with Yasmani Grandal on that signing last year. Maybe they spend on Bauer and kind of help out that rotation a bit that is headed by Lucas Giolito, but Austin Barnes to left center field into the bullpen. His first home run of the postseason gives the Dodgers back their 5-run lead here in the top of the 6th. So there we go. Austin Barnes, he has had some success in the bottom third of the lineup for LA. And coming into tonight, he was hitting .353 through 17 at-bats, so small sample size, but only 1 RBI and no home runs. This is his first October home run of this postseason, his second RBI of the postseason. Third. Forgot about his 4th inning sack bunt. His 3rd RBI of the postseason, but first home run of the World Series and of October. So that's a lot of fun. Good stuff from Austin Barnes. That was a breaking ball that just stayed right down what's going to be memory lane for John Curtis because he will not forget about that one. That's a mistake pitch 10 times out of 10. It started up, and by the time it broke down, it was right in the middle of the zone. Mookie Betts steps in now. He's 1 for 1. He's in a 1-1 count, 1 for 3 on the day, with a single and stolen base. Three stolen bases for Betts in the World Series. 5 in the postseason total. And that's a single right back up the middle. So keeping it going here with 2 outs. We've seen a few 2-out rallies for the Dodgers here in Game 3. The Rays pitching, whether it be Morton or Curtis, have just struggled getting that third and final out. Starting off back in the first inning, Betts went down, Seager went down, but then Justin Turner a solo home run with 2 outs, followed up by a Max Muncy single threatening for more, but that would be the end of it. Flash forward to let's see, where are there 2 outs again? Flash forward to the third inning, back-to-back strikeouts from Barnes and Betts, a hit by pitch from Seager, double from Turner, 2 RBI single from Muncy. So they played 2 more runs on 2 outs right there. And now they are threatening to do more damage in the 6th with 2 outs, as they already have with a solo home run. So that's 3 innings of 6 that they have had offensive appearances in which they have taken advantage of 2-out rallies. Mookie Betts over at first, Corey Seager with a strike on him and 2 away. We'll see if Mookie tries to take another base here. He's got a nice little lead, and Curtis throws over to Choi to check up on him, but he's back in time. They check up on him again, but Mookie Betts gets back into first. Seager is hitless through his first 2 at-bats here in Game 3. He also hit by pitch, and Mookie Betts, another stolen base. Make it 2 World Series games where he has 2 stolen bases. Oh my goodness. I've said it twice now, I think, at least already in the live stream, but the Dodgers are a team to take advantage of small ball. They're going to score runs, but they're going to do it by playing smart. Mookie Betts is playing a full running game right now, as well as other players who have stolen bases. Like, that is now Mookie's 6th stolen base of the postseason. Seager has 2. Bellinger has 1. Just not a lot of teams are running much at this day and age. Certain players are a whole lot, like Adalberto Mondesi, for example, just taking the league by storm when it comes to stolen bases in a regular season. But as a whole, teams aren't necessarily taking off as much. But Mookie Betts going from first to second right there sets up another RBI opportunity with just a single. Now, granted, a long single could score him from first to home, but a regular base knock can plate the 7th run of the game for the Dodgers, which is just continued insurance that they can easily use to their advantage just because they want to build onto this already sizable lead. The count goes full now to Corey Seager. And Mookie Betts looks like he's going to be the most valuable player. At least he's on the radar. 364 average in the World Series. 1 home run, 2 RBIs, 2 runs, and 4 stolen bases. Ridiculous numbers as Corey Seager draws ball 4 after a full count. Mookie Betts at second, Corey Seager at first, and Justin Turner, who is 2 for 3 with 2 extra base hits, steps in now with 2 on and 2 away. So again, 2-out rally potentially right here. It is big for this lineup. Turner is 4 for 11 in the World Series with a home run. Of course, that came back in the first inning of this ball game. A homer in the first, double in the third, and strikeout in the 5th. Now coming up again in the 6th for his 4th at-bat, rather 4th plate appearance at the least. And he'll take ball 1. So Turner jumps ahead. Curtis now starting to struggle a little bit. Nearing 30 pitches, and that's number 29. The Dodgers third baseman flies this one down the foul line, and Manny Margot cannot quite make the play out there in right field foul territory. Counts even at 1-1 now. Mookie Betts second. Corey Seager takes a lead off of first with 2 outs. One one to Turner. He sends this one to center field. Just kidding. Kevin Kiermaier is there to make the catch. It's a line out to center to end it. The Dodgers score another run with 2 outs. Almost could have played it a few more right there. But courtesy of an Austin Barnes solo home run to bring back the 5-run lead for LA. This was Barnes' first home run of the postseason and of the World Series. His second RBI on the day. 1 run on 2 hits with 2 men left on base. For the Dodgers, we go to the bottom of the 6th, which means I will be live for only 3 more outs of this game. However, again, I will be on YouTube Live doing play-by-plays for hopefully games 4 and 5. That's what I am setting out to do. Of course, things do come up sometimes, so if I am not live for either of those games, don't worry. But best way for you to know, once again, go ahead, have your notifications turned on, so as soon as I go live or as soon as I upload a video, you guys will be notified and you won't miss an upload or a live stream. So yeah, I fully plan on going live at least one more time. As previously mentioned, World Series baseball, some of the best baseball out there in any given season. And of course, the most important series of any year. Dodgers have a nice little lead here. 6-1, bottom 6. It's going to be the Rays who look to retaliate and get some runs back on the board. They struck first in the 5th, or they struck for the first time in the 5th inning. Manny Margot had a double, followed up by a Willy Adames double 2 batters later. That was good for an RBI knock. And the Rays shortstop was stranded there to end the inning. However, it's going to be the 9-1 and 2 batters, Mike Zunino, Austin Meadows, and Brandon Lau, who look to make some noise here in the home half of the 6th. Mike Zunino has only had 1 at-bat so far here in Game 3, and it was an inning-ending double play. Now, that double play came back in the 3rd inning and followed the first base runner for the Rays. Kevin Kiermaier had reached via ball 4 in the bottom of the 3rd. He's the number 8 batter, first guy to get on. Mike Zunino quickly turns down any opportunity for the Rays there in the 3rd with an inning-ending double play. He's coming back up now in the 6th for a second time, see if he can get something going, as Walker Buehler returns to the mound, throwing his first pitch of the inning, a fastball at 95 miles per hour down and away. Zunino sees strike 1. Now, the Rays' backstop is hitless in 8 at-bats in the 2020 World Series. He fouls this one back 0-2. We talked about it, I believe his first time around, a 182 average, 4 home runs, 8 RBIs. He might not hit for contact, but when he does hit the ball and square up a pitch, he's going to do damage. He's going to go ahead, hit a long ball every so often, bring in some RBIs. When he's hot, he is a great guy to have in the bottom 3rd of the lineup for Tampa Bay, but he has just not had much success at all. He now goes 0 for 9 to start his World Series run as he strikes out swinging here in the bottom of the 6th. That is strikeout number 8 for Walker Buehler here in his first start of the 2020 World Series. Hello to everyone in the chat. Hello to everyone who's joining and who has been tuning in. Thank you all for your continued support. I appreciate it. Would not be here without you guys. First pitch to Austin Meadows, just above the belt and north of the strike zone. Fastball at 97, but good for ball 1. Barnes doing a good job back there behind the plate. I like this battery of Buehler and Barnes. Fastball right down the middle at 96. Meadows doesn't even think about it. Takes it for strike 1. Now Austin is the designated hitter, batting left-handed. Here in Game 3. Well, he's always left-handed, but he's the designated hitter here in Game 3. He's 0 for 2. He grounded out to first, back in the first, and then lined out to center in the 4th. He's ahead 2-1 here in this at-bat and is 1 for 7 in the World Series. Make it 2-2. He fouls back a fastball south of the strike zone. Counts even. Now, as I was saying, I really like the Buehler and Barnes duo. Nice battery. They seem to be on a very similar page because a lot of success out of this 26-year-old starting pitcher here in this one tonight. 2-2 count. Meadows is going to rip one to right field. Mookie Betts is there. Does a nice little spin move before throwing in the ball. And Austin is aboard for his first time this game with his first hit of this game. That is just the 3rd knock of the day for Tampa Bay. And that brings in Brandon Lowe, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He's been very hit or miss. 2 for 11 in the World Series. Broke out of his slump in Game 2 with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. Has not had a hit other than that yet, though, here in the Fall Classic. He's got a runner on first, 1 out. Big opportunity for the Tampa Bay Rays to take a nice chunk out of the National League representative Dodgers and their lead. 6-1 could easily go 6-2, 6-3 with a big hit and make this game a little tighter. Lowe behind 0-1. Buehler attacks the zone with the fastball on the outer edge, perfectly placed on the black according to the strike zone provided by Fox. Either way, Lowe will swing and miss for strike 2. I mean, that was just a really nice location from Walker, and he's consistently been hitting his spots. His velo was up. He's doing very well. He's got great control right now in this game. It shows almost double-digit strikeouts and only 1 run allowed. Blake Treinen warming up in the bullpen for the Dodgers. Of course, right-handed pitcher coming out of the back end of the rotation for LA. And breaking ball gets down in the dirt. Barnes, phenomenal job keeping it in front and holding Meadows to just first base. The count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 runner on. The Rays have scored 1 run, and it's the bottom of the 6th. The Dodgers have scored 6 runs. But Lowe, swing, and he will foul tip it back into the glove of Austin Barnes. For his 3rd strikeout of the game, Brandon sat down swinging twice and left the bat on his shoulders 1 time for a called strike 3. Good for 3 punches in this game. He just got the golden sombrero, the hat trick of all baseball hat tricks with 3 strikeouts here in his first 3 at-bats, A, but B, just 3 strikeouts in 1 game as Arozarena sees strike 1. Now, Lowe has struck out 3 times in the 1st, 4th, and 6th. But Buehler has struck out 9 batters. So, of course, Lowe being 3 of them. But other than that, 6 Tampa Bay Rays batters besides Brandon Lowe have struck out. Count is 1-1 to Randy Arozarena, whose postseason storyline has been amazing. Rather, his career storyline and his life story, incredible. He was in Cuba for a bit. He made it over to Mexico before coming over to St. Louis in Major League Baseball. So he played baseball, I believe, in Cuba and Mexico, deferred over to the U.S., had some action with the Cardinals, and then the Rays traded for him because in very limited playing time, they liked the production out of Randy Arozarena. Really fun story. And just stuff like that it's heartwarming, it's touching, nice just to hear the backstories. Kind of reminds us that, again, baseball players are human and all that. It is really nice, and success stories like this are a lot of fun to share and everything. So, Arozarena, 2-2 count. He's going to foul this one, or spoil it, rather. Count remains 2-2. So, yeah, I'm a big Randy fan. If he didn't beat up on the Yankees as much, I'd be an even bigger Randy fan than I already am. But he's been struggling a little bit here in the World Series. 0 for 2 in this game. Struck out in the first, lined out to center in the fourth. Coming up for his third plate appearance here in the sixth. 2-2 count, 2 outs, run on first. Can Buehler escape it? He does. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a breaking ball. Randy Arozarena cannot make contact. So Buehler may have just ended his start in the 6th inning with his 10th strikeout of the game. No runs on 1 hit and 1 man left on base for the Rays. But guys, that is going to go ahead and do it for me here on the live stream tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Each and every one of you who tuned in at one point or another, I appreciate you all so very much. Would not be here without you all. So thank you for your continued support. If you enjoyed this stream, don't forget to drop a like down below. Comment in the chat your predictions for who you think is going to win this World Series and in how many games. Still, I'm sticking to my prediction. Dodgers in 7. Hopefully they go ahead and close out the win here, these final 3 innings of the game, and take a 2-1 series lead. But guys, that will end it for me tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to be live at least once this weekend. Go ahead, have your notifications turned on so you know exactly when I go live. Thank you all so much for watching.